I tried beating Terraria, but fallen stars drop random items. This means that during nighttime, a piece of dirt can fall out of the sky or something completely overpowered like the zenith. I started off in daytime? Well, that's not good because stars can't fall out of the sky. So I quickly ran to make myself a bunch of NPC houses using something called the workbench. How crazy. My house was formed a little bit off, so I crafted myself a door and placed another door. So you know, we have 2 doors so I can move out of my crib. I went over to the desert and got killed by vultures. That was not pretty epic. So then I went down to mine in the underground so I can get myself a bunch of iron and get a bunch of neat starting objects such as the furnace, the anvil, and so on. And once I came back to the surface, you could say I was starstruck. Because a endless rocket 2 bag fell out of the sky into my arms. And as I continued over to the right, I got a bunch more items, such as the Mirage Crate, which gave me Mithril, which if you are a Terraria player, you know is a hard mode ore. It was very far into the game, so this was very surprising to me. I should not have access to such potential this early on. Anyways, I made a vow to myself that I will only use weapons dropped from the sky, dropped from the gods. I will only use armor dropped from the gods because, you know, then the gameplay would be too easy. I made myself a bunch more NPC houses, and while going to the left side of the world to explore what the gods have dropped for me from the sky, I got a materia essentially it was like a modded item from the AlchemistNPC mod that acted as every single crafting station in one. That was pretty neat. I also got myself the summon for Skeletron Prime. So we're never going to have to craft that ever again. And this is where, while walking over to the left side of the world, I encountered truly a blessing. So you know how there's a zenith? Well, there's something called the first fractal, right? Which is what the zenith was supposed to be. I continued over to the left, and on the ground, there it was. The zenith, or I thought it was the zenith, but it wasn't. It was the pure fractal, which was supposed to be an even more overpowered version of the zenith, but it wasn't working properly. So for the entire playthrough, it was like a 1-swing zenith. It was not auto swing, and I couldn't use it any further than maybe 3 blocks off of my character. So I mean, it was very powerful, but this isn't something that's going to push me through hard mode. No way. I can already hear all of you in the comments saying, oh, you got the zenith in the early game. Bro, like, look how bad this is. It has the range of your own tongue when you're trying to lick your own elbow. There is no range to this. It's horrible. Anyways, I went through the entire world and I managed to get myself the summon for the twins, the Skeletron Prime, and also King Slime, which was pretty cool. Then I went over to the ocean and found myself a bunch of more useless items. This is where I used the zenith to my advantage, or you know, the pure fractal. I'm very sorry that the quality of life mods that I used decide to add overpowered versions of the zenith. I don't know how this happened, but I got myself the Ang Shield as well from the sky, which is pretty cool. And now that it was daytime, the only thing I could really do was check out all the items on the right side of the world, which weren't very good, and fight all the bosses that I need to fight. So during this time, using the materia transformulator thing, I crafted myself the mithril pickaxe because I managed to get mithril earlier within the game from a crate that dropped out of the sky, and I started to dig myself out a elevator. I started organizing some chests, so the objects were very nice and pretty and all tidy, and I got myself a bunch of life crystals during this time as well. As I came up to the surface, it was once again nighttime, meaning the gods can shine their glory upon the Terraria world. Then I fell off a tree and died. I got myself adamantite armor because I had myself a bunch of adamantite from crates, and then I went to go check out the rest of the world to see what had been dropped. While on my journey through the right side of the world, I realized that there was actually a Meowmer on the ground, which gave us endless potential. Now that we have a very crappy zenith and the Meowmer, we could take on anything that there was to take on. This is where I started my true playthrough of just getting through all the bosses. Like, I mean, we had all the weapons now. This is where the real fun begins. I went down to the underworld, and without giving a single poop, can I say that on YouTube? Without giving a single poop, I tried to farm out guide voodoo demons. I then went over to the left side of the world and fought and defeated Skeletron with like 1 swing. The reason I did this is so I can craft myself the battle cry, which increased our spawn rates massively, so we can get more voodoo demons to spawn in and not have to wait literally eons for a guide voodoo doll. So we did that. We got ourselves the guide voodoo doll, and as soon as I had that, I chucked it into the lava. No hesitation. I am a big baller boss. I chucked it into the lava, and then using my chain gun and also infinite ammo that I managed to get from the sky. Trust me, bro, I am not lying to you. I would not lie to you. I would never hack this playthrough. It's easy enough. I defeated the wall of flesh and then went on to fight Skeletron Prime since it was nighttime using my chain gun and my zenith. Guys, by the way, I know it's called the Zenith. Please do not write comments, oh Boyo, it's Zenith, not Zenith, please. We took out Skeleton Prime, then we started to take out the twins using our disabled zenith and the Meowmer and the chain gun. We had a lot of fun with that. And this is where I realized that I needed myself a pair of wings, and there were no wings, but it was nighttime. So scouring the world, I found a wyvern. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna wait for wings to drop out of the sky. I would consider myself a lucky guy, but the chances of me getting wings exactly right now when I really need them are slim to none. So I crafted myself a pair of harpy wings and then proceeded to go on with my day. While scouring the world to see what dropped out of the sky, I found some pretty cool buffs like the cake, this like enchanted cake thing. I found myself a berserker glove. I got myself lightning boots, which were also pretty neat, and we were pretty set up to fight and take out a lot of the bosses that are going to come our way. At this point, I waited for it to turn to nighttime. While waiting, I got myself a bunch of souls of night, and I also searched the entire world of any items that were on the ground that I could use to make my playthrough even more easier than it already is. To be honest, I had found absolutely nothing. There were some cool weapons like the Spectre Staff. I got the Charm of Myths, which was a nice accessory that would really boost up our HP regeneration. But besides that, there was nothing really too good. I went mining down in the caverns and dug out like a mini area for Plantera bulbs to spawn in because I really wanted them to spawn in much faster. And I was also looking for some life fruit just for fun because I was waiting for it to turn to nighttime. Anyways, once it actually turned to nighttime, I summoned in and defeated the destroyer super quickly. And right after that, I came back to spawn and crafted myself the summon for Plantera because I could never find her bulb. I can't ever find it, so I'll just craft the summon. This is from, what is it, Fargo's Mutant mod. It's like a quality of life thing, so don't get mad at me. Anyways, I killed King Slime for fun because we had the summon, and then I viciously, repeatedly defeated the destroyer in order to get myself a bunch of money so I can buy myself everything that I needed to progress into the game. This is the ultimate cheese playthrough. I swear to God, this took me like an hour to do. Anyways, we summoned in and killed Plantera using our zenith. It was super stupidly easy, and then as soon as I got into the Golem Temple dungeon thing, we tiptoed slowly our way around all of the traps because, you know, Golem's dungeon has some fairly decent traps that will one-shot you if you are not prepared for what is to come. We took out Golem as well. There's nothing even to say. Now, after Golem was defeated, I slowly waddled my way over to the dungeon, and at the dungeon stood the long-nosed Goliath of the pillars. So I took out all of his little cultists, and then we had to fight the main one himself, the main blue boy man. After dodging all of his insane ice attacks, no, I'm joking, bro. He died so quickly, it was ridiculous. And then we went through all the various different pillars. We took out the Nebula pillar first, took out the Vortex pillar next, then we took out the Stardust pillar, and we had the Solar pillar for last. Once we took that out, we waited for Moonlord to spawn in. I held on to my cake, that sounds weird, and using the Meowmer, the Zenith, we defeated the Moonlord. The challenge is probably the most easiest one I've done, I know, but these challenges are very fun to do. So consider subscribing to the channel if you're new, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. This has been Boyo. Peace out.